I could make another joke there. But the day is upon us here. I knew it was going to happen, Tom. I saw the headline this morning in the Miami Herald. NCAA in Miami to talk NIL deals with the university. Well, it turns out if you flaunt that you're blatantly cheating and breaking NIL rules, and the booster paying this tells you he's doing it, that maybe they do come to town.
They would come to town. It's just, what will the deterrent be? What can they do? And if they do something with teeth, they would do it to Miami. There's no doubt they would do it specifically to the University of Miami.
Because they were the most blatant and, celebrated.
I think also because they have a long memory and they remember how, based upon a technicality, which is the NCAA was cutting corners,
right?
They weren't able to levy anything for the black cloud that hung over the program, football program specifically, with basketball, for the entirety of Al Golden's tenure down there.
I was proud of the way they butchered that investigation because it ruined any chance they had to be successful. It was just this tenuous, omnipresent, oh, yeah, we don't know. You may never go to a bowl while you're here. We can't finish up this investigation. I have no idea. Oh, okay. And Al looked so desperate. The used car salesman that he was, with that tie, that wind-blown hair. He's been on the blacktop all day. It's 98 and humid, and he cannot sell this Volvo. Damn it, man. Help me.
He fit in so many places in the working profession. There are some guys that only look like one thing, but Al Golden could have been a manager at your local 24-hour diner. He could be at your local rental car place, or the one specifically at the airport. When you go to the airport, that guy looks trustworthy. I think, you know what? I might be coming back here. I know the service was terrible, but he looks like he has it on lock here.
He seems to have a clue what's going on here.
Yeah.
I real quick story on that, by the way. I went to a car center in Spokane when I landed out in Washington a couple months back, and we didn't get in until it was 11:45 their time at night. And so there's one dude there. There's nobody in Spokane. It's just a ridiculous place. But anyhow, I go walking up to the counter, and that poor bastard looked beleaguered. Yep, I'm working at the Avis here in the Spokane airport at 11:45 on a Wednesday. It's what you think it is, sir. That's the look.
I got out at 2. I used to have the 2 to 7 shift.
So. I wanted to give him a hug. That guy, you're talking about Al Golden wore it. He could be in any number of professions.
Yes.
This guy had the look of a person. If I said to you, what do you picture the guy who works at an Avis at 11:45 at night in Spokane, Washington? If you saw this guy, you go, that guy. It looks like that guy. It was so perfectly. I was like, you would be cast. If I was in a movie and we had to be in a Spokane airport at an Avis, you'd be the guy. You'd get the job because it was just this frumpy, my life has sucked to this point. That's how I ended up here, stuck in Spokane at an Avis at 11:40. It was just damn it, sir.
How was his service?
Oh, it was good. He didn't have to worry about, bustling about. It was just me. He's like, oh, yeah, you're in the computer. I was like, good.
It's the only profession in which you hear keyboard clicking more than a front desk at a hotel. That's true. The rental car. Yeah, it's an unbelievable amount of keys. They must have to
fill out 700 forms for you to be able to rent that car. It's amazing.
Maybe it's like your password is you have to hit 0 52 times before then you're allowed to put any information in.
You want to open the show with what them kids doing?
It's been a minute since we broke it out.
Damn, man. I love doing it for gigantic defensive tackles. The quickest way to get me to lock into recruiting and to talk and to do a what them kids doing segment is if it's a giant defensive tackle or offensive lineman, really the offensive and defensive lines, the interior of the line. I will do it immediately. Go.
Hello once again, friends. It's time for What Them Kids Doing.
Look at that jibber jabber Jeff. What's that kid reach? How fast does he run?
Hey, who let you in here?
Look at him. I bet he can bitch a lot. What them kids doing, Jeff?
Well, it is time for What Them Kids Doing, and this particular kid, Ayobami Tifase, is 6'5", 300 pounds. That is, Tom, as we used to say.
All right, that's a big man.
Indeed, that is a big man. That is a giant man. Now, if we can reshape some of the mass on Tifase's figure to be a bit more chiseled. We may have something here, and I think this is something to get excited about. I don't know that I'm not trying to tell you he's a 5-star because he's not. He's a 3-star prospect according to Rivals, but he is a massive individual who I think would have been better thought of had his situation academically been a bit clearer. He's a kid that some others were on and liked, but weren't real sure about because they didn't know whether or not he was going to be eligible. Things seem to be working well in that department.
Yeah, and it's also a reclassification situation.
That's correct.
The rankings would be more formulated if he played one more season in high school, and you'd have a better idea of what he was in terms of blue chip or no blue chip.
Yeah,
but reclassified, he's supposed to be moving to Tallahassee today. He had a signing ceremony yesterday or early this morning, whichever it was.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is the type of player that you take a big swing on, and if you hit on, then this gives you the leg up you need when you are operating in the second tier or the third tier of college football.
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, look, man, it's not as if Arkansas doesn't have good football players these days or that Virginia Tech is lacking. And those are two of the schools that he could have chosen that were heavily recruiting him along with us. Now, are there some smaller schools on that list that you kind of roll your eyes at? Sure, yes. If you see UConn or whomever, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we beat out them. But SEC schools, a prominent member of the ACC and Virginia Tech is typically one of the better programs in the league. Okay, beating them out is satisfactory. It's not like, oh.
Well, and it's his footprint, too, up there, DMV area.
Yes.
So you're able to pull him from DMV. His connection with Odell, obviously. Anytime you see a defensive tackle commit to us, that's a winner. Odell used to do some serious work up there about 9-10 years ago in terms of recruiting big-time players, like Eddie Goldman is one of those examples. But the thing that I like about this particular commit is you already have 2 true freshmen on the roster who showed out.
That you like.
They were awesome in spring camp.
They were very good, yeah.
Daniel Lyons, Bishop Thomas are very good football players.
We think they're going to be, yes.
Yeah, they got to get refined.
Mm-hmm. They do.
But they already know how to beat grown-ass men in the trenches as 18-year-olds in a spring camp, but when they should be at prom. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I like their potential. I don't want them to have to play right away. I'm tired of that cycle as well. So we just need to. It's going to be a little while till we see them.
No, sure, they're 6th or 7th on the list. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to take this kid if you don't think he's a fit, because you have 2 players that are on campus as true freshmen. So if you wanted to wait for somebody who was a better fit in December, you could have. They clearly must like this kid if they're going to allow him to reclassify and get on campus right away.
Yeah, and good for Odell here. I really, really like Odell, and the career he's had here is exemplary. And listen, he's in the twilight of his career, but he's still doing a good job. It's you think about the defensive line the last few years, and some have obviously been better than others. The defense as a whole hasn't been very good, but it hasn't really been because of the guys up front. They haven't been awful. I can pinpoint linebacker for a long time, and prior to having Jermaine off the edge, we weren't exactly lighting it up off the edge with anybody else consistently. And then, of course, we know that secondary has just been bad. So I haven't really laid the blame on Odell the way that I have certain other segment groups and certain other coaches. So good for him. I trust him is what I'm getting at. And I think, moreover, I love when you read quotes like this, because I think this is at the heart of recruiting, and I think it's the thing that does tend to resonate with people even still. There are a lot of things that we don't like in the modern era about the way college football is conducted, the way that recruiting goes down, the aforementioned NIL and the stuff we were just talking about. But when you hear a kid talk about, when asked about why Florida State and what his meeting was like with Odell, he basically said, well, we talked about relationship, love, and football. That's it. Relationships, love, and football. All right. There it is. What else is there, buddy? That's a shirt. Good for you. Odell should wear that shirt.
Maybe that should be the motto for this year.
Yeah. Relationships, love, ball. No, I don't want to add to it, because I think if you wore that shirt with the seasons we've had, we'd be looking at it with a jaundice eye as opposed to celebrating the 3 words. We'd be like, really? That's what it is, huh? Not wins?
Well, I mean, it could
Not
be
kicking ass.
Look, if it goes bad in December, it's breakups, anger, and football. So, it's just one of the 3 stays the same, and then 2 of the 3 change.
Oh, man. So congratulations. There's a little what them kids doing. We haven't done it in a while, and that's, it's good to be able to find that at a day where we could use a little boost, we got a 6'5", 300-pound defensive tackle. All right, young man. Let's see it through.
We were tasked with putting together, forming our top 40 list.
Yeah, I saw that
Warchant.
email. I was devastated.
Were you?
Yeah, I don't like the exercise.
Oh boy.
It's fine. We've done it forever. I always participate because even before I was an employee, they would ask me to do it, and I loved doing it in the sense that I like to be part of any sort of analysis involving Florida State football. It's partly my job, and
but not this one.
And I'm passionate about it. No, because the last 3 years, if you've made that top 40 list like I have, you wept. As you made the list, you got past the 7th best player, and you went, Jesus God, this is awful. And so hold on, let me finish my point. I saw the email, and I went, damn it, I got to sit down and come up with 40. We don't even have 5 good players, and I got to do 40. And I'm sitting there thinking about it, and then I thought, screw you, Cameron. That's not what we do. This is a better year. This is a slightly better roster. Perhaps the exercise this time around is not one that depresses you, is not one that, feels like an exercise of futility, but rather one that enlightens a little. Maybe I'll sit down and I'll finish the top 40 and I'll look at that roster or the list of 40 anyhow and say, all right, a little bit of progress, a little bit.
You will. I've already put together a preliminary.
You did your 40?
No, I haven't submitted it.
Good God, sir.
It's a rough draft.
You Christmas treed the 40.
I did not Christmas tree the 40. But when we were talking about defensive tackles, one name popped in my head. I'm like, ooh, I got in the 30s maybe in the category for Jared Jackson. Like, there's a guy who might have an impact once every month, but he'll have a big one because when he flashes, it is dominant looking, and that could be a difference maker. But I could tell you that I got well into the teens, maybe the early 20s, before I got to, I guess I could put that guy there.
Once you get past 20, you got to be like,
But you know what? You're right. 3 years in a row, it would be, you get to 11. You're like, oh,
I'm telling you, I'm not
now
even
you're
kidding.
into the high teens, low 20s. That's good.
Man. It broke my heart. I mean, the last 3 years I've sat there and had to do this. I've gotten that same email from Gene, and I've sat down. I'm like, oh man, 40? How am I supposed to write 40 names on this list? Like, we've got, there's these 3. I mean, that's what I was doing. I was like, these 3, these are the good 3. But finally, I was kind of like, you know what I did? I did that thing that we should all do, which is not be emotional in the moment. I got up and I went and poured another cup of coffee. I like coffee.
Over under your 2.5 cup of coffee for the day.
It was over. It was
Okay.
my third cup. It was my third and final cup. All right. After I saw that email, my third and final cup of coffee for the day. And I went into the kitchen and I poured said cup of coffee and I pondered the world and sipped that coffee as I'm wont to do, thinking about just kind of a cursory in my mind, kind of a snapshot, Tom, of that list. And whereas in the past, when I did the snapshot, I'd see 5 names, 3 names, 7 names. I saw about 15.
There you go.
About
that's
15
it.
popped
That's
up, and I went, okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. So there it is. There's 15.
Yeah, in that range on this list.
Are you looking on that
in no
roster?
particular order? You got Noles, Rakeem Dent, Trayshawn, Derek McClendon.
Trey Benson?
Trey Benson was
buddy, put him on the list.
He's above this group.
Oh, okay,
he's above this group.
He's high on the list.
Because Gene's criteria. See,
I want us to define our terms.
Right. Well, he said impact this year. And so for my rule, it's going to be the impact that's felt on the field or when you're not on the field. So what's the drop? Meaning if you're not on the field, there's an impact to you not playing. There are some positions where there might be better players than some of the guys I listed higher. But if you lose a defensive tackle, for example, if Big Coop's out for a week, you can handle that. If Jordan Travis is, no, you can't.
Yeah, not
if
likely.
Tatum Bethune is, that's going to be really tough.
Yeah, it's a tough.
If Micah Pittman's out for a week, that's going to be really like those. That's basically my criteria for this year.
So you start with Jordan Travis at number 1 because if he goes down, your team is. It doesn't even matter if you think he's good or bad or somewhere in between.
Impact is the word.
The bottom line, impact is the word. Okay, so I like this exercise that we're better defining. And I think it's important because people oftentimes see that list and they're like, you really think so-and-so is the 3rd best player on the team? I'm like, no, I don't. I just know that there's nobody behind his ass. And if we go into a game and he's not playing, we lose. So that at that point, by definition, Jordan Travis has to be number one. Nobody will not have him number one. Now, where it gets interesting is from there, because I think there is plenty of room for debate about what we do from there, about in terms of impact, because of depleted position,
right.
Weaknesses and strengths. And you can look like there could be a kid that is athletically gifted, probably more than 7 other guys that you have ahead of him. Because if he's in a position group that's loaded, and there are very few of those at Florida State, then, obviously, how important can he be?
Well, and at some point, there's a cutoff, too, where the impact you're going to make, even in a deep position group, is much better than the next guy on the list. Like, for example, Fabian Love is going to be high on a lot of people's lists.
I love Fabian.
Even though Malcolm Ray could come in a pinch and do pretty good.
Decent.
Fabian's going to make an impact at a deep position. So there is a cutoff at some point.
Yeah, it gets interesting. This will be a more intentional, focused effort from your boy here.
Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I've mailed it in on a couple of these top 40s in the past. I've mailed it in. I just, you didn't get my best effort every time. I'm telling the truth.
Yes,
I didn't run it out.
No, I believe you didn't. There's a little Beltron ground ball to second base in there.
I just didn't run it out.
I hate ground balls to second base. I'm not going to run.
Yeah. I tried. Yeah. But, it's a long season. These are tight hammies. I can't run out everything. We all know that kid. This ain't college. He's going to pick it up and throw it to first. He's not going to not throw it to first. He's not going to bounce it.
Yeah, you're Terrell at Auburn. He goes off his chest and he walks over to pick the ball up. Mm-hmm. The PRP was there. You could have made the play at first if, remember when the coach tells you, stay with it. Stay with it. You got it in front of you. Stay with it. And I'm like, oh, he's just going to, all right, he's going to moonwalk over there. Put it in his back pocket. I see. Mm-hmm. All right. Very well. We are down 15-1.
Yeah. That out is not that important, although it's getting late. It's late out here, man.
That was a 4-hour game.
No, it's a ridiculous game. Well, when you give up 21 runs, it's a miracle. It's not a 6-hour game. When you don't pick up the baseball, what shortened the game? We kept getting picked off. That helps. Right. That really helped. Yeah. When you're getting picked off, the innings aren't prolonged. That helps.
Ball 4, and somehow he's caught up between second and third, folks.
Inexplicably.
This will be the second out of the inning.
That seems to be an indicator of somebody who doesn't give a damn to be here. Yeah, I wish an announcer would have said that. Like, we don't see that every day unless the guy doesn't care. Okay, the
time for the Yellowwood call to the bullpen.
I got to give Eric credit, Eric Llewellyn. I was driving down the road when that happened, and he got picked off. And I heard, and I'll never forget this.
So you heard his call of that. Now I want to hear this.
Well, it's hilarious because he clearly was looking down at his notes, getting ready for the next hitter.
It's ball 4. We're done here.
Right. So all that remains to be done is the walk to first. So he's looking down at his notes to give you a stat on the next hitter or somebody for whatever he's going to do for Auburn, because he gets caught off guard. He hears something in the stands. So he clearly, I know Eric, we're boys. So he looks up and sees that Terrell just got picked off, and he's incredulous. And it's not the first time that dumbass has been picked off in a way that is ridiculous. So there he is, and he's looking up and he sees it and he goes, well, and Terrell's just been picked off. I don't know. Okay. That's the second time today that you can just tell tonight. You can just tell.
But that's where he is protecting the baseball team as much as he possibly can. Having worked the board a few times over the years, both T-Block and Eric were great at this. Where he'd say a ground ball to short, lines it up, and throws it away. So there'll be a runner on first here. And you're just like, good. Instead of screaming at the kid, you can hear the frustration, but everybody knows that you just messed up, Mr. Shortstop.
I got a funny story about that I'll tell you about when we come back. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Warchant TV.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Matt, when you think of a successful Southern cookout, what do you think of first?
The food, of course.
The food, but you got to think about the food prep. And Hearth and Patio has thought about that with their awesome grills.
What kind of grills?
Fire Magic, Broil Master, Blaze Grills, Kamado Joe. Matt, they got it all.
Wow.
Custom outdoor kitchens. Create an outdoor cooking space.
You'll be the envy of your neighborhood.
You will be the envy of your neighborhood, and you'll make a lot of people jealous. That's because you called Hearth and Patio at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or you can visit Hearth and Patio online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
It's a backyard barbecue party. Let's Lee Holcomb's the number one more time.
850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. The Hearth and Patio, they not only keep the home fires burning, Hearth and Patio will elevate your grilling game.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Wildfires and other disasters are becoming a way of life. For many, preparing go bags relieves stress. Tips for disaster preparedness and suggestions for putting together your own go bag are available from FEMA at ready.gov, and you can search go bag on jw.org.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to Orange.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
From a moment ago, I did it. Mark the time. 1:20, whatever that was, Tom. Make sure you mark the time. That was an official tease.
The year of our Lord 2022.
There it is. So I've done a little bit of color commentary for baseball over the years, off and on. I even did play-by-play once, but I also did the PA. You guys know that, but old timers know that. And that hasn't happened in a long time. But not all that long ago, I was asked by the university, by an individual who's no longer there, to perhaps consider working with Eric and doing some baseball with him. It was pitched to me, and I was kind of excited about it. I thought that'd be a good idea. We go back and forth and all of that, and got a great rapport with Eric and have for years. And I love baseball, and but a couple factors played into me not doing that. And the reason I bring that up, Yeah, okay, fine, humble brag. But the reason I bring that up is that it was somebody said to me in the process, "Hey, you think? I mean, you do it on your show, so we think you could do it here, but you wouldn't like mention that somebody sucks on the air, would you? You wouldn't." It came up like they wanted to know, would the things that I say about certain players' unique skills or lack thereof on my show, where it's a very different setting and format, than doing work as in an official capacity for the university and calling games. And I said, of course I wouldn't. They're like, well, you think you'd be all right with that because you think you'd handle a big moment, 3-2, 1 out in the ninth, and kid boots a ball that's routine, and you wouldn't be like, and Stonehands has cost us dearly. No, like, what would I do? I said, no, it's just it's like a cloak you put on. It's a switch. When you're working in this capacity as opposed to this capacity and who you're working for. Now, eons ago, that wasn't always true, but that I can do that. I can do that.
When was this? Roughly 5 years ago?
It was at the time that Tom Block stopped doing baseball.
Okay. All right. That's interesting, though, because then they would allow you to return to your daily show and say those very things.
Yeah.
So the players would know that you would say those very things. It's just
Well,
that
it
you
would have
wouldn't
been-
say it during the course of the broadcast.
It would have been very problematic.
That's an interesting.
Well, no, I didn't. First of all, I saw the conflict. I was well out in front of the conflict in my head as the person was presenting this option. And I thought, I don't know, man. I like what I do on a daily basis. It's the show, I've done the show's the baby. I've been doing this for a long time. I've worked really hard to do this, and I don't want that compromised. I don't. And
Right.
so there was that.
Like on Friday at 3:15, you're saying, I don't know why we roll suck-ass Jimmy Wilson out there in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And then you have to give the stats for, all right, so Jimmy Wilson's going to pitch the 8th here for the Noles.
Yeah,
and as you know, in his last 3 outings, people are going to know that.
They're going to know, that you called him a suck ass on Friday. Yes.
3 hours earlier.
Yeah.
5 hours earlier.
Well, there was also that, right? Like I would have to leave town a lot, and I don't think that it would have been worth my while. Let's just put it that way. I don't think it would have been. And so at that point, I was like, it's a combination of things, but no thanks. I'm flattered. And I do think I would have been quite good at it, frankly. But that's neither here nor there. I do think that I would have been able to likely bite my tongue. It's much easier to bite my tongue for whatever reason if I feel the need to, say sensitive information, let's say, or not cursing, right? On this show, for whatever reason, then it would be if we had a kid who led the country in errors, for example, and I was doing games. It pisses me off to watch somebody be incompetent in high-level games, in high-leverage situations. Now, I get people make mistakes, and I don't harp on those things, and it happens. But if you are one of the worst at your job, you're in the category of, well, if you look at the ACC stats, our starting shortstop's last in the league in fielding percentage. Been a tough year for Johnny. The 2-2, like that can be tough. And I don't know that I would have been able to deliver that info because that's information that's vital. Like if a guy commits an error, you kind of have to point out that he does it a lot.
On a home college baseball broadcast, I don't know.
Well, here's why. If somebody just joins the broadcast and you gave up 3 unearned runs, they'd like to know that. And you say, well, remember the last time in this situation, we had 2 men on and we got a routine ground ball there. Great pitch, locked him up. And he just got kind of off the end of the bat there. And unfortunately, play wasn't made. And next pitch was a double down the line. And that's got us to where we are now, 4-1, Notre Dame. That was Wilson's 15th error on the season.
There you go. That's fine. Not ACC leading 15th error. That's
that
probably
was
a little
Wilson's
much.
15th error on the season, and that leads the conference.
And
that is greater insight, don't you think? You kind of got to say that.
Yeah, if it's a Westwood One broadcast of out in Omaha, sure. On the home broadcast, I don't know. In college, I don't know. Now, if it was the Braves broadcast, by all means. Well, there's Dansby again. That's 21 errors now for Dansby through 112 games. He's on a record pace. They're professionals.
They just keep it going, though. It's
Right,
usually just keep
right.
it going. Let's just move it along here.
Change up in the dirt, 2-2.
I would being the Pirates announcer would be the most difficult. I mean, we've lost a gazillion games in a row, and the worst thing is that for the better part of the season, our starting pitchers have not been able to garner a victory. It was the stretch. We were the last team to have a starting pitcher get a win. A lot of weird circumstances. Guy leaves in the fifth up 2 and doesn't.
These days, that's actually not as crazy.
It's not as crazy, but still, to be the last to have a starting pitcher get a win on the year, that's a toughie. And so they frequently don't get wins. Not that they're all saddled with losses. They just aren't around long enough. They're not very good. Second time through the lineup usually costs them dearly. And having to hear Greg Brown and those guys try to sugarcoat that, well, looks like we're going to go to the pen here in the third. 78 pitches through 3 for Quintana. 5 runs on 9 hits. Not his best stuff today. We'll bring – you're like, damn it, man. How many times has he had to say that? That's
what he says when they go to break.
Yeah. How many times have I had to say this?
It's Friday. I've had to say this 3 times this week already.
Oh, looks like they're going to bring in Dylan Peters. He's making his league-leading 17th appearance through 20 games.
Folks, it's only June 15th.
I mean, that's a toughie. But it's fun to think about, like, how would you handle these situations if you're broadcasting? Like, Gene always did such a good job, and these last years, how tough has it been to watch this football team and not make a snide comment? Like, think back to the Wake game. I believe, was that 6 turnovers or 4?
Well, any Wake game, really.
But it was 4 or 6, whatever it was. It was a exceedingly high number.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating because you had
a fumble at the goal line.
Yes. Interception. You had a lot.
The first play after we get one, that was the unlucky fumble.
You had the fumble from a guy that typically doesn't.
And then we
fumble,
benched him,
man.
which was that was wrong. What are you doing? You give him the ball the next
You
play.
forgot about that. You just reminded yourself of that. And then you were like, damn it. You got mad right there.
I was mad. I
was mad in the moment.
I was more mad after that game than I was J-State in a weird way.
Well, because that's fundamentally and philosophically stupid.
Well, and also was we're going to ride the hot hand. What? What hot hand? Neither hands are hot.
No.
So pick one.
Ice cold. They're throwing with frozen hands. How about we start the guy with a working foot?
Right. That's a good idea. 2 of them.
Yeah. Both feet work. I'm going to start him just in case he gets in a bit of a pickle. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A special art show and memorial is happening this Friday for Oluwatoye and Salau at the plant in Tallahassee. Monday marks 2 years since the double murders of Oluwatoye and Salau and Vicky Sims. Both were found dead at a home off of Monday Road in 2020. Sims was active in her church while Salau was a 19-year-old activist. Salau's cousin Jason Osaji hopes the art show will help the community see how Salau saw the world. Half of the proceeds from Friday's show will go to the plant, while the other half will go to Bond Community Mutual Aid that helps people in the community with rent, food, and other services. Ahead of Election Day, Florida's candidates have one last week to prove they're in or out. It's a midterm qualifying week in Tallahassee. The 5-day window allows congressional, legislative, or other state-level candidates a chance to submit their paperwork and prove to state election officials they qualify to be on the ballot. Candidates have until Friday to file and qualify. Florida's primary election is August 23rd. The midterms are November 8th. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a chance for scattered storms. Highs around 97. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight. Lows around 75. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. High of 98. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 93.
Hey, Nole fans. friends, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Pastor Tabner was alone with a female church employee. She in a towel and he in his boxers. The charismatic 41-year-old Hurley explained the two of them had been making chili and gotten food on their plates. With the hot dogs that they were making, we are hoping that the pastor used the right condiments.
Think? There was at least one hot dog involved.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were just making chili dogs.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
I think most of you are hanging in there, getting through June together. Pretty much getting through June together is what we're doing. I alluded to it. I'll go back to it now because it's something to revel in. And yes, I'll give you some prize picks. Look, you degenerates, and I use that term endearingly. I will get to the prize picks and some other golf action that I got. I see on the chat, Birkin. I love that course. Have you watched the preview up there in Boston? It is beautiful. I want to play that course.
Yeah, a fair amount of it. Not enough to handicap it and set my lineups and stuff yet. But
what the hell you waiting on? Tomorrow's Thursday, baby. They're teeing off.
Hey, man, we've had a commitment. It's been a busy week.
You better get to locking it in. Let's lock it in. We've got the U.S. Open.
It's been a week of meetings,
It's our national championship.
Our national championship.
I will. We have had a bunch of those. There you go. The NCAA visited the University of Miami campus last week to gather information about the topic of name, image, and likeness, better known as NIL, as it pertains to the Miami Hurricanes and their roster. Miami, the University of, confirmed that today. Miami attorney and prominent Hurricanes booster John Ruiz told the Herald on Tuesday that he spoke on Friday with a gentleman and two females, quote unquote, from the NCAA.
Wait, what?
He called them females.
I spoke with a gentleman and two females. Oh, dear God. This guy's already 0 for 1, and he hasn't even started talking.
I spoke to this dude and these two chicks that came down from the NCAA. Anyhow, it was a dialogue between numerous people on campus here in Coral Gables. Ruiz told the Miami Herald, in a story that was first reported by Sports Illustrated, that the meeting lasted a little over an hour, and he thought that it was cordial. They're setting you up. Johnny boy, they're setting you up. They're always cordial in the beginning. You ever watch these interrogations? Oh, good of you. You need a drink? You need anything here? You want a Twinkie? Anything? It's always cordial. You cold? You want a jacket?
Here, take mine.
Yeah. Well, Bob, can you get John a drink? What was that again? Pepsi or Coke?
We have both.
I was asked by the university to go discuss how I put my deals together. It was more big picture. I don't think it was really anything accusatory, you know? It wasn't any sort of, I got you or I'm going to get you. I actually enjoyed the meeting. When asked if the NCAA had initiated an inquiry into the University of Miami's NIL-related deals, Miami Assistant Athletic Director for Communications, Cameron Jorby, released the following statement. Now, if you are asked to comment on something and instead you send over a released prepared statement, doesn't that already kind of tell you they're a little dicey, a little nervous? A little nervous. Most of the time you're not nervous. You're like, what? What is it? What do we want? What do you want? Come on. What you got? Ask away. Ask away. Oh, okay. You all right. Gotcha. We'll be sending over a statement. Will that suffice? So that's what Gorby said. Like our peer institutions around the country. Oh, now we're bringing everybody in. Here we go. Here we go.
This guy's got 11 years of experience. I looked him up. That's why you brought him in.
Yeah, 11 yeers. By the way, when you say your peer institutions there, this is that's called deflection. we're not talking about us. We're talking about everybody.
He's got short patience. He's worked the last 11 years with Miami football. I mean, that's a toughie.
Like our peer institutions around the country, the University of Miami communicates with the NCAA to ensure compliance with applicable NCAA rules. Oh, that's fun. Per NCAA rules, and in order to maintain the integrity of the review. See, let me parse that for you. We're doing them a favor. We'd like the integrity of this review to be held in place. I don't want anything to happen that wouldn't allow you full access to the information you need. Here at the University of Miami, we'll not only give you said information, but we'll ensure the integrity of the review remains intact. No funny stuff around here. We got you covered. We respect the institution. That's what he's trying to.
As he writes the word or types the word integrity, he does the Anthony Michael Hall, hits himself in the arm saying, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it.
So here you go. Per NCAA rules, and in order to maintain the integrity of the review, the university cannot comment any further on the specifics of what was asked. I would love to help you. Now, you understand, Miami Herald, and anybody else that's asking, if it were up to me, I would let loose with a flood of insight and information to help you with your article or anything you may want to know about what's happening here at the university with the NIL deals and loudmouth John Ruiz. We would be happy to do that. But alas, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. What do you want me to do? The integrity of the review would be complicated, and we can't have that. The integrity is too important. That's not how we operate at Miami. We maintain the integrity of the review so that the NCAA can do their job. We all want the NCAA. We all want the same thing. Our peer institutions, fellow members of the ACC, we all want the same thing. We want what's best for the sport. We want what's best for these kids. And if I were to just pop off and answer all these questions the way you would like me to, these kids could be affected in a deleterious manner. And I won't have it.
Meanwhile, there's a group text with a lot of high-ranking Miami officials and boosters in which this gentleman or the athletic director himself is asking, will somebody tell John to shut up?
Please?
Somebody must. Who can get to John to tell him to stop talking?
Yeah. We don't want him to stop giving, but we do want him to stop talking.
Admittedly, it's a fine line. You don't want to piss him off.
It's sort of a pay-for-play situation.
But, I mean, he's talking to media outlets. Oh, I think it was a great meeting. In fact, nobody's accusing anybody of anything.
He's talking to the free world on Twitter every time he does it.
Who are you trying to convince, John?
Yeah. So anyhow, this is where we're at. And Ruiz went on to say, this is good. He told the Herald that he signed about 115 athletes to a combined NIL payroll somewhere between $7 million or so for the year.
Again.
Yeah. With 2-year deals being the lengthiest of those deals to promote his companies, Life Wallet and Cigarette Racing Team. When I saw Cigarette Racing Team, I went, but of course. I mean, how good is that? Cigarette Racing Team. That is so good. Cigarette boats. You've seen, they run drugs. They run drugs. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're not tying this.
Oh,
No.
whatever inference you think.
Okay,
I'm saying cigarette boats, they run drugs. They used them for years to run coke and such out of Miami.
Again, you don't divulge the numbers. That's how you get other players to dip into your players' pockets. You didn't learn this from the basketball example, did you, John?
Yeah. No, and it's also an interesting time for John and all of the others that are efforting to help Miami as the business is being investigated, and a lot of interesting things that perhaps suggest they're.
I mean, it's only $7 million.
House of cards is crumbling a little bit.
150 players, $7 million, max 2 years. The biggest signing bonus I ever gave anybody was $250,000.
Listen to this, man. This is amazing, right? The money. I'm going back to this number. Let me look up this number. This is unbelievable. The Kansas State kid that they got the transfer, the Nigel Pack kid. This is like Live Golf. They gave that kid $400,000 to come play at Miami. What the hell does he think that's going to do? You think Miami's going to win the national championship because the kid from K-State came over for $400,000?
Pack it up, pack it in.
That's crazy. $400,000 a year. Look, he's a nice player, but Jesus. You didn't sign Jordan. What are we doing? That's nuts.
And you pissed off Isaiah Wong. Great job. Because even though he's coming back, now you got a problem in the locker room.
Oh, sure.
Now you got a problem. Anytime there's a hard foul between one of those two players in a scrimmage.
Gonna call it a hard foul?
That's it. They're going to call it overpaid mother peeper. And there you go. Now you got to fight because of John Ruiz.
I also just like that publicly this whole thing created a situation by which we could see into the soul and hearts and mind of Isaiah Wong, who thinks he's a lot better than he is. I was like, my man, who are you trying to hold hostage? People aren't like knocking down Miami's door to get you to transfer in. He sure thought that was about to happen.
Yep. And Pac's going to put a $100 bill at the top of the key and say, come on, if you could score on me.
What's in that envelope?
Yeah, that's right. Come on. First to three. 1-pointers only.
Oh, it
could be yours.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue just north of Havana is your final destination for hamburger excellence. But what if you don't know which burger to try? Captain Kenny has turned off the no smoking sign and has a 3-burger flight to help you make your decision. Put down that tray table and let your taste buds fly. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of the last light in Havana. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue. Get your fill at the grill.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control has been serving North Florida for over 50 years. When you've been around that long, you're certain to see change. Back in the day, almost all of our competitors were just like us, owned and operated by local people to keep their lawns green, protect North Florida customers from pests, and their homes from termites. We always had a great respect for our competitors because they truly cared about the well-being of our community as we at Paul's do. But things began to rapidly change. The local competition began selling out to big companies based in places like Orlando, Atlanta, and Memphis. Local decisions being made by people who know very little about the unique needs of North Florida. And now, many of them are being bought by international companies based overseas. Local decisions made by people in Great Britain. In our industry, being local does matter. Paul's Termite and Pest Control is still owned, managed, and operated by people that live in North Florida. This is our community. We proudly make it our home, and all of our decisions are made locally to serve our customers. For the elimination of termites and other pests,
and a greener lawn, too. Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
All that good stuff. We do have a report that Eric Bakich, the coach at Michigan baseball, he's done a really good job there. Is gonna head to Clemson. This is good news for Florida State.
Hey, that's a good tea leaf right there to read.
Yeah, I thought this would happen. Not necessarily that Bakich would leave Michigan for Clemson, but Clemson. So let me get you guys caught up on this, all right? And there's a lot of speculative information out there, but I can get a little bit closer to you here. Basically, everything about what happened here last week in regards to Mike Martin Jr. being fired was sped up because the word on the street in the college baseball world was that Clemson, and this goes back 2 weeks, was in the market for a head coach. They were going to make a run, and they wanted a name. And they wanted to bring in somebody that would make a splash for their fans. And it's kind of interesting because Clemson hasn't really invested all that much in their baseball program. But there it was, right? And when that came out, I think certainly the die was cast. I think Meat was in real trouble at that point because it meant that if you were going to get Link, you needed to go. You needed to go now. You needed to make a decision and get off your ass. And so what they did do was they moved on. And when they did that, obviously they knew immediately that the speculation would be that they would go after Link Jarrett, and they'd be foolish not to do that. And so that is absolutely what they're doing. And I think to some degree, all of this gets put on hold because obviously Notre Dame's still playing, and they went and upset the number one team in the country in Knoxville, which prolongs the situation. Clemson, to me, now I'm just looking at this. You said it just a moment ago, Tom. If you're reading the tea leaves, Clemson wanted Jarrett. They just hired Bakich. That's good news. That's really good news. I feel good about that news, Tom.
You like that news?
I like that news. That's good news.
It's pretty good news.
Real good news. So, listen, he's a good coach. And, that's a guy whose name was kicked around that if Link Jarrett didn't want the job, maybe Florida State should go after him. And there was some thought that if Link Jarrett didn't want the Florida State job, maybe Florida State would go after him. And today he signed with Clemson. Feels like good news.
As long as something screwy doesn't happen where an SEC school fires their baseball coach in the next couple of weeks, feel pretty good about this. But if they went 0-2 and Q, that'd be great too, right? Notre Dame, 0-2, get it done.
Yeah, go ahead and get up out of there. I mean, I'm not really going to be antsy about this.
Put some pledge on the podium.
I'm not really going to be antsy about this. I think Florida State's in a real good position, and that's fine. That's fine. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with us. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
More of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3 WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden calling on oil companies to produce more gasoline and diesel.
In a letter to 7 oil refiners, including ExxonMobil, Marathon, and Shell, the president says record high gas prices are putting a crunch on families. He demands immediate action, telling the companies they need to work with his administration to bring forward concrete near-term solutions. Inflation poses a political threat to Mr. Biden, who gets low marks for his handling of the economy. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, National Weather Service meteorologist Mark Shadar says it will be another hot day across portions of the central and eastern U.S.
Potentially 30 to 40 record high temperatures set all the way from Georgia to Michigan. So kind of that corridor there, looking at highs in the 90s, even some hundreds.
Meanwhile, other parts of the West burn from an early wildfire season amid a persistent drought that has increased the frequency and intensity of fires. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell signaling he may sign the gun bill compromise being drawn up in the wake of the recent mass shootings. Bob Agnew reports.
The GOP leader is signaling you can add him to the list of Republicans leaning toward passage of the bill. McConnell says he's seen the framework of the proposal and says, quote, if the legislation ends up reflecting what the framework indicates, I'll be supportive. The proposal stops short of raising the age for buyers to legally purchase AR-15 style rifles. Instead, it earmarks money to help states identify potential shooters. It would also allow access to juvenile criminal records for would-be gun buyers between ages 18 and 21. Bob Agnew reporting.
Waiting for the Federal Reserve to announce its largest interest rate hike since 1994. That announcement shortly. On Wall Street, the Dow had 330 points, the NASDAQ up 257. More at townhall.com.
I've always been kind of cynical towards advertising, which I know doesn't make much sense considering I'm currently recording a commercial. It's all the fluffy words that make us cynical, right? A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a blue light special, but only, of course, if you call right now. It all kind of makes me nauseous, and yet here I am about to say that right now actually might be a once-in-a-lifetime moment for some of us, and that is the opportunity of a cash-out refinance. Arguably never has there been a moment in time like the last few years where home values have jumped at crazy historical levels, leaving all this extra money sitting inside our homes. A cash-out refinance lets you put that extra money in your pocket to use for life. If you'd like to see your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Hey Tallahassee, it's Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. You're probably driving right now, which means you're surrounded by glass. Did you know that each piece is made differently? Your windshield is 2 sheets of glass with a thin plastic in between. This allows it to take an impact without going all the way through. Side and back glasses are typically tempered. This strengthening process is what allows them to be shattered in the event of emergency. Regardless of the glass or how it breaks, we can help. Trust your local auto glass experts. Seminole Auto Glass, proudly serving the Big Bend for over 15 years. Better call Seminole.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let everybody know, hey, here's the goods. These are the nuts right here. Here it is. There we go. Good stuff. So, a couple questions that I want to answer before moving forward here with some football stuff, Tom. Wilmer wants to know, does anybody have any indications of how Link feels about his roommate being let go? Well, the only public statements he's made about that is that, he's told the press when he was asked specifically about the FSU job, that, hey, look, obviously that's a unique place, a lot of feelings and a history there. And the guy that was just let go is my old roommate. So obviously I'm concerned for him. So, he did the professional denial and he did the professional and courteous, and I think heartfelt thing by at least acknowledging that somebody he cares for is out of a job. But I don't think that really alters anything. The bottom line is, if you're Link Jarrett, you grew up in Tallahassee and your parents are here and you played here and you have a love of the place, it's in your blood, you care deeply, you grew up going to games long before you were ever a player. You're well aware of its histories, the problems that are here as well, and all the pluses. You've probably dreamt of someday being the head coach at Florida State, no doubt, just as you dreamt of being a player. And if the opportunity presents itself, for whatever reason, and in this case, you might even think it's unfortunate that it presents itself because of what happened with your old roommate, you're still going to listen. You're still going to take that call. You're still going to sit down and think about what this means and whether or not it's a good time for you to move your family back to Tallahassee and take the Florida State job if it's offered to you. Of course you are. And you'd be silly not to. And listen, this is the other thing that I want to clear up, because this has come up on my timeline quite a bit. I don't check Twitter the way I used to, so sometimes things get asked of me, and forgive me, I don't always look at it. I forget, or I mean to go back to it, and I forget. But a couple of you were like of the mindset that this was going to become some sort of bidding war between Florida State and Notre Dame, and therefore, and this is very much a football mentality, therefore Florida State has zero chance. Well, yes, no, there isn't a school in the country not named like Harvard or Stanford and maybe Texas A&M, a couple of others, that would be able to compete in a bidding war with Notre Dame if everything about this job was solely the money. But it's not. And secondarily, Notre Dame doesn't even care about baseball. If you don't believe me, check out their facilities. They suck. And the people don't go to games. If you don't believe me, go look at their attendance records. So people don't go to the games. The facilities are second rate. Notre Dame is a rich school, true. And they care about a lot of things. Baseball don't seem to be one of them. So do they appreciate the work that Link Jarrett has done? I think so. Who wouldn't? The guy's an employee of your school and he's taking you to the College World Series. Bravo. Job well done. Would they be willing to give him a raise for that effort? Probably. Yeah, I would think they probably would be willing to give him a raise. Are they going to break the bank to keep Link Jarrett? No, they're not. They don't pay their baseball coaches the way they pay their football coaches. They don't have the same sort of interest level. It's not a place that a lot of people want to move to and play baseball. It's cold. Sorry. It's just not a great place. And so I don't think the competition is solely about, hey, they're going to pay him an exorbitant fee. Are we willing to do that? No, I don't think they are going to pay him an exorbitant fee. I think we have to be willing to match some other players in this instance. And that other player, to me, would have been Clemson. Clemson does have money, and maybe they're now making an effort to care more about baseball. It would appear that they are making an effort to care more about baseball, hence their interest in Link Jarrett, hence their interest in Eric Bakich. And so something happened up at Clemson in which they decided we're going to make a move to improve our status in this sport. And that's how word got out that they were interested in Link. So the fact that they today hired Michigan's coach, Eric Bakich, to come to Clemson means that one of your chief competitors is out of the running. And Clemson does have more money than Florida State and could have paid more money, I do believe, than Florida State. And now they're out of the running. So you're now competing with Notre Dame, who I will assert is not going to break the bank for their baseball coach. They're going to thank him for his services, say, job well done, pat him on the back, and wish him well as he returns to his alma mater. That's what I think they're going to do. I don't have that on lockdown. I'm not telling you that that is a 100% guarantee, but if I'm reading the clues here, it seems to me we're in real good position. I think we're in real good position. Now, could something break down in the negotiation? Could something else happen that I can't anticipate? Sure, I suppose. I mean, I'll give you a hypothetical, just a hypothetical. So Link, let's say, really wants the job. I think we've established that he really wants the job. I mean, listen, who wouldn't want to return to their alma mater, a place where they played and loved and grew up watching, right? We all would want that. So just common sense tells you that at the very least, you'd have a lot of interest, unless you hated your time in school. But, most people, it's a chance, especially a storied program like this, you'd think he'd want to come back. All right, so let's just assume he does. I think it's a safe assumption. And say he sits down with Michael Alford and says, his agent says, we want $1 million. I mean, that's very expensive for a college baseball coach. That's a lot of money. And, I don't know what we're willing to pay, but that's a lot of money. But let's say they say, well, Link, how about we do this? How about we do $800,000? We double what we were paying the previous baseball coach. We'll give you $800,000 a year, and the other $200,000 that we would have put in your salary, we'll put into Dick Howser Stadium and improve the facilities. So here, now we're in a negotiation. Now we're having, right? And he says, no, I want $1 million plus you have to renovate the stadium. Well, now you can see where now maybe we are in a bit of a bind here. Maybe. So I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there, guys. I don't know the answer. Again, somebody will take this and they'll take a soundbite out of context and they'll end up running with this, that I said he's guaranteed to come and that, whatever. I think the chances are very good. I think it's likely that he comes, but it's not a 100% guarantee. And we all want guarantees. Everybody does. Everybody's walking around. Can you guarantee it? Can you guarantee it? Well, things happen. I mean, I guess there could be an unforeseen situation or snag in that negotiation, I suppose. If he goes on, I'll give you another one. If, for example, and I hate presenting all these roadblocks, but if, for example, they win the national championship, what if Notre Dame wins the national championship? With those facilities, this guy wins the national championship. Well, I might suggest there'd be quite a few teams that would be interested in talking to him at that point. And now the pool of teams isn't just Florida State and Clemson. And Clemson's moved on as of today because of the hire of Eric Bakich. But if let's just say, whereas before it was Notre Dame, Florida State, and Clemson, that guy wins a national title. I don't know, maybe there's two other names. And what if one of those other names are an SEC school and they're willing to pay exorbitantly? You might have a problem. That's always going to be the reality. You might have a problem if that happens. But Texas A&M's very happy with their coach. In fact, A&M's in the College World Series. He ain't going anywhere. And they're one of those teams that pays way beyond whatever the market is. Texas moved on, got to the College World Series. They're not in a position to want to move their coach, and they would be a university that could afford to pay an exorbitant fee. Where else you looking? Like a name program, like a good program. Because remember, if your heart and your mind and your love and your affinity is for Florida State, this other thing, whatever this potential hypothetical school is, say, any SEC school, whatever. I mean, Arkansas is not firing their coach, so I don't know where you're going, but let's say Georgia decides they're going to fire their coach and they want to bring him in. Well, man, listen, he's going to be leaning heavily to Florida State. Georgia would have to be willing to double Florida State's money. I just don't see it happening.
My hope is that if and when he's the guy or whoever the next guy is, and I agree with you that it's so heavy of a lean, I'm almost falling over. That's the way I feel personally about it right now. Not with inside intel. It's just, again, Clemson's clearly been told no by somebody in his camp. It's just, I hope that the passion for FSU baseball as a program is there from the fan base on the level it's been for this whole dramatic situation of the firing of Mike Martin Jr. Because if you look at the numbers of interactions on stories or the video that we had when the news was breaking on Friday, I don't know that we could have done 10 or 11 pieces of website content or video content, and they could have been at high leverage times in the season after sweeping Miami or whatever it is. And you added up those 10 things together, they wouldn't have reached the amount of interest and interactivity that the fan base has had with this storyline.
Well,
which tells me that a humongous segment of the fan base has been dormant, even when it was handed off from 11 to his son. There's a huge segment of the fan base that is dormant and did not care. So my hope is, at this point, with this development, whoever the next hire is, that in 2 or 3 years' time, when we're talking about
back to the passionate,
a super regional play or
raucous,
whatever, regional play,
yeah,
that the interactivity of the fan base is there, because it hasn't been.
Well,
this was a wake-up call to me. I thought, honestly, you catch me in an honest moment off the air, man, we've had several sports past it, and baseball's never catching back up. It is this firing that brings me to a place where I say, oh, so you care in these kinds of numbers. It's not just a Tallahassee sport. I hope that carries over, because people seem to care about the drama right now, but we'll see if the next head coach can bring them back for, 2 out of 3 over Notre Dame or whoever, a top 10 ACC foe in March. That'd be nice.
You got to remember that it was largely masked by that appearance in the College World Series and the road victory in Baton Rouge that we attended. But the program had been falling off from its previous standard for some time. And I don't want to relitigate that, but that had been the case for some time.
The World Series berths were 8, 10, 12, 17, and 19. That's it.
Yeah.
In the last 14 seasons.
So, but the two of the last 3 years, he made the College World Series, and those teams weren't great. But baseball's weird, and I document this all the time. And I'm really glad about a few things. I'm glad, A, that the number 1 seed doesn't win the national championship and hasn't since 1999, and that the number 1 seed oftentimes, they don't even get to the damn thing. For years, the accusations against Martin was that he'd have these elite teams that couldn't win the national championship. And I'd be like, dude, it's baseball. You got to get a little lucky too. It happens, man. It takes one bad week and you lose a series and you're done. Tennessee led the nation in runs and ERA and hosted that regional against an unranked Notre Dame team and got bounced.
This is one thing that I'll totally agree on with, I think, 99% of the fan base. I'm glad we don't have to litigate that period anymore, because we still did through Mike Martin Jr.
Yeah, we did.
And now you don't have to anymore. I was so sick of it 10 years ago.
Oh, man, I've been sick of it forever, because there's just a fundamental lack of understanding of how fickle baseball is. It's very odd. The Pirates suck to high heaven. We established that. They swept the Dodgers in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago. Go figure. How's that happen? Lowest payroll in baseball. Team sucks. Swept their ass.
But then you'd
Baseball's nuts.
There'd be the follow-up that he tightened up in the postseason, so you'd relitigate all that, and there might be some truth to that as well. He's a different dude. But you know what? It's all gone.
It's all gone. We'll have a different conversation for once. Now,
especially if you're making over $1 million or $1 million, now you could just have a cut and dry conversation.
Just say either win it or
you don't have to worry about feelings getting hurt. It's just, here it is.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to this for a second. In terms of the interest in baseball, I think it's always there. This is a baseball town. It has been for a long time. Tom, Notre Dame is a good example. A top 12 ranked team had games this year against other top 10 ranked teams in which 380 people showed up. Florida State would sleepily have that fan base roll in there to the tune of 3,000 to 4,000 for any series on a weekend. They just 80-year-olds just with their pillows coming in to watch baseball like they've done for 50 years. 4,000 of them, no matter what.
What I'm saying is the passion, like season tickets and attending an event in Tallahassee is different than feeling passionately about the sport.
Oh, okay.
So,
agreed,
for example,
agreed.
Big time moments in a season. And to be sure, there were some good ones this year and some bad ones. There's some big moments. You throw a press conference up on the channel, and it had like 30 views.
Yeah.
Nobody cares at that level. When it comes to being passionate about the sport, when you're talking about the FSU fan base as a whole, I agree. The conversation between Tallahassee, the town, and Noles within it, and baseball is very different than the fan base at large.
Yeah.
But this move, that announcement on Friday, woke the region up.
Yeah.
In a way that I have not seen, I don't know, in a long,
Florida State
time.
baseball still has cachet, and that's what you're excited about because you were reminded of that by the response.
Like, you do care.
Yeah.
That was literally my reaction was, you do care. Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, so Florida State baseball still has cachet, and you may be on the verge of bringing home one of your own that has accomplished something away from here, which is what a lot of the fans complained about when Junior was hired, was that he hadn't gone away and proven it on his own established himself as a head coach, and then come back.
Don't have to hear it anymore. It's wonderful.
But yeah, so my point would be, here's a guy that was a really good player here. I remember him, watched him play, and then has gone on to do great things in the sport as a head coach elsewhere, prominently. Took another program that, by the way, again, doesn't invest in baseball all the way to the College World Series. So you have that now on the resume. It checks all the boxes if that happens. So I do think you'll see a bit of a resurgence in terms of passion, because you'd be bringing home one of your own who's done something, who's proven it, right? Who's proven to you he can win. Now, the next step for that baseball program to matter the way it once did, and maybe we never get back there. I will admit to you, we may never get back to the games that I attended, that I was fortunate enough post-graduation to be in town for, and before graduation, to be able to sit there and watch the likes of J.D. Drew and those guys that came through here, John Ford Griffin, and so many great pitchers and players and names that are synonymous with Forrest, Shane Robbins. We go on and on for days, right? All these guys and all these magical seasons, 50 wins and all this stuff, 40 wins every year. We may never get back to that. I mean, that stadium was nuts. It was fun. It was a unique time and place. The sport of baseball hadn't suffered the way that it has now and been surpassed by, let's say, so many other activities in sports that young people appreciate more than the slow-moving game of baseball. I appreciate the pace of baseball. We've established that. But 20-year-olds don't. We can get into the reasons for that.
They appreciate shotgunning beers if you could give them an area to do that somewhere.
So that's the next step. You got to renovate the damn stadium. It's a dump. I say it every damn day. I'm always talking about this. I've been talking about it longer than anybody. That goes back. You could probably find a Jeff Cameron show 10 years ago where I'm like, man, this stadium here is getting a little shaky. I mean, I was ringing the alarms. I'd walk in and I'm like, there's some rust and some dust. It's looking a little shaky.
The only thing you can do is the baselines with the bleachers that are terrible, one at a time. So pick one. Left field, right field. Which one do you want? And can you construct something that allows people to throw their lawn chairs over there, and you got food trucks out there in the corner, and you create a festive atmosphere? That's just this other thing.
Absolutely.
So you have covered grandstands with the shade, and then you have this craziness where the students could go sit or something like that. And there it is.
You make it an event. The thing, okay, so going back to this, and baseball has figured this out professionally. The SEC and a few other schools around the country have figured this out collegiately. We've got to figure it out. But in Major League Baseball, these new stadiums are revenue centers. None of them are standalone baseball stadiums. They're all the Battery. They're all Utah Street. They're all these, Yawkey Way. They're all these places, right? Like now you would go, they are built, the stadium and the surroundings are built for entertainment and food and music and all of that 365. So the Braves don't even have to be playing and people go to the Battery because there's 7 restaurants and a bunch of taco trucks and live bands out on the lawn. And, there's all that stuff. You got to do that for baseball collegiately if you can. I mean, that's a lot of schools are never going to commit to that. But if you could, yes, you could get kids to come because then it's an event. It's not just the game. I like the game. I don't need blaring music between every batter. I don't need you to entertain me in that way. I don't have to have, dance music thumping at the top of the,
it's
decibel meter. Yeah.
Oft complained about, but you could use a better scoreboard that gives you more information in a way where you don't feel like you're
I don't know what they're
staring
doing
at
with that.
Matthew Lesko's jacket,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if you could go to that stadium and there are, like you said, food trucks, there are options, things you could do with your kids who might get bored in the 3rd inning and you need a break. So you go over here to this food truck, you go over here to buy beer and this vendor, you go over here to whatever, get your gear, all this different stuff. You got a restaurant across the street, you got another one right over here. It's like if you built it over by College Town.
I'd almost expand the gates out over on that green right there, where in front of the ticket offices.
And make it a thing.
Well, build a wiffle ball field for the kids. That doesn't take much.
No.
I mean, that's what a lot of these ballparks have is it's just a line for kids. There's a ball and a tee. You get 3 swings at it. There you go. $5. And it's lined around the corner.
Yeah. And I think back, man, I'm so glad my kids are past that age or I'd have to be sitting in that line and it's 100.
Right. Yeah. The kids don't care.
Yeah. I'm like, man, kids will sit in a damn line, won't they? It's crazy. Like you go to Disney. My kids last year, the trip was to Disney World or Epcot or whatever it was. Hey, now.
That
Close.
was almost.
That was almost hilarious.
Oh, man. How has nobody ever thought of that before?
Man, that'd be funny. I got a lot of jokes with that one. But so you go to Epcot and
what have they done to Spaceship Earth?
A Prince concert broke out. Like at the Super Bowl that I was at, where I was like, "What is this phallic?
Oh, yeah.
What is going?"
With the sheets and the shadow?
It
You're
was
like,
awesome.
no.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, "Oh, Prince, you're the best." I was cracking up. Anyhow, so what the hell was I talking about before I almost said
the kids' trip was to
yeah.
Epcot. Epcot.
Pedophiles probably be calling it the other. But they're like, "Well, we should go over there to." So a lot of kids. So the point would be, that's awful. I love that the camera just switches to me. They're like, "You're on this island.
Matthew
you're,
knows.
You're on your own.
I really
can't
have
be
to have
part of this.
I need a button that's for like solo camera.
I can't be part of this. Let him bury himself." So here you go. They were there, and my son comes back. They get back like 4:00 in the morning on the bus. Right? They've been there. They're there all day. They stay at night, and then they leave. And he tells me that they spent the vast majority of the time while they were there waiting in a line, 2 hours, 3 hours to ride these. Man, there's no way in hell. Never again would I do that. Sit in a line for 2 hours to ride a ride. Get the hell out of here.
It is test track.
It's hot as Hades. I'd have to go A, in the dead of winter, and B, I'm fast passing all damn day. There's no chance.
They call that the Genie Pass, I think now. They've redone it. But
The
some of these
Genie
rides,
Pass?
yeah, I think that's correct.
Why don't they just? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you got to trademark everything. But some of these rides, they get it now. Is if it's a long enough wait, you have little stations where there are activities along the way. So at least you're not doing nothing.
Right.
That's the smart way to do it.
That is the way to do it. Epcot. Everybody, Epcot. It's the Jeff Cameron Show. 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. 93 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Leaky faucet, busted pipes, clogged toilet? M&L Plumbing is here for you. For all commercial, construction, and residential plumbing issues, call M&L Plumbing at 575-9393 or visit online at mnlplumbing.com.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at hamiltonhomeloans.com. That's hamiltonhomeloans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
All right, about that time to upgrade my iPad and my Apple Gear. How much memory do I need? What upgrade should I get? What size screen? How many chargers do I need? USB-C, USB-D, mini USB, USB-B, ABC, 1, 2, 3?
If only there was a local business that can guide you and help you understand what you need and get you the best pricing possible. Oh, wait, that's what they do over at Macklemore Systems on Capitol Circle. Get help buying the right gear for the right price and have it shipped directly to their store for pickup, all at no extra cost. That's the kind of service you won't get at any big box store. Shop local at Macklemore Systems. Find out more online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Things out.
I agree with you, Tom. I agree with you. It is stupid the way they sort these things out. Kind of curious. Win total. We were talking about the win totals last week of at least the teams in the Atlantic. We were parsing that. You threw a few at me, and I was going to go over the Coastal a little bit today, and excited to do so, frankly, because I got a little bit more information on returning starters and all that kind of stuff. It's important to have all that stuff.
I got it because I have to manipulate the website, but I know how to manipulate websites, so that's a good thing.
How did you manipulate the website?
So they don't sort it on this sports book that we wanted to pull from by conference. So it's just randomly listed. It's not even alphabetical for the teams if you're looking for win totals in the Coastal. So you can't do it that way. I just am searching on the webpage by using our old pal Control F.
Yeah. Nicely done. A
little
Control F action.
There you go. Or Command F for you Apple users out there.
Yeah. Well, Control F. That's how we get down. All right. Which of the teams? Do you want the defending champion Pitt Panthers win total there? You want me to guess it? I have a feeling that despite losing, at least for Pitt, and listen, I know Dan Marino played there, but trying to replace Kenny Pickett, that's a tall task for Pitt. I'm going to guess the win total is at 9.5.
8.5.
Really?
8.5. You like their schedule so much so that you feel like 9 is the middle ground?
I did. I think they're a good team. Look, that's a real good team, actually. They get first of all, they do get virtually everybody back on the offensive line. They get those running backs back. They're a senior-laden team. They have a star defensive end, the Baldonado kid. They have a defensive tackle that's going to go in the draft. They have a left tackle that's going to go in the draft. They have a potential all-ACC linebacker, Servassier Dennis, by the way, with the name Servassier. That is what we do. That is what we do. My favorite name in college football, Servassier. Yeah.
It's one of the more expensive props to play if you're going to go over the 8.5.
I am going to go over.
It's at -125, which in the grand scheme really isn't that expensive.
Yeah. I'm going to go over, but that's a good number, 8.5, because I think they're going to win 9 games. And there are some. If you want to rapid fire that thing quickly, give me Pitt's schedule in order. Okay, don't. You don't have to. I didn't lead you in the right path.
Give me 1 second.
Live radio, everybody. There you go. Let's go schedule. I got
All right, so they start with West Virginia.
Win.
All right. Tennessee, and that's being played at Pitt.
Yeah, they won in Knoxville last year, barely, in what was a score fest.
Interesting game. That's our bye week, September 10th. It's a 3:30 kick.
You want to go up to Pitt to watch Tennessee and Panthers play?
No, I'm good.
Nice stadium. They play where the Steelers play. Coin flip game. If I'm going to get to 9, I got to pick them. I'll take them.
All right. Western Michigan.
Win.
Rhode Island.
Win.
Georgia Tech.
Win.
They could be 5-0 at that point.
Yeah,
they could.
I think they'll probably more likely be 4-1. But all right,
okay.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. That's in Pittsburgh. At Pitt.
Win.
They get a break, and then they travel to Louisville.
Loss.
Wow. Louisville beats them?
Pull a bit of an upset there, yeah.
Okay. At North Carolina.
Win.
Syracuse.
Win.
At Virginia.
Did we get to our total right there? That's a win.
No, because of the coin flip.
1, 2,
you got
3,
2, maybe.
4, 5, 6,
well, 2 losses. Louisville and
7.
maybe Tennessee.
All right, so go ahead. I just get you. Virginia's a win.
All right.
Duke's a win. There it is. We're in. We're there. We're there.
And so it doesn't even matter when they play Miami.
They play Miami at the end of the year. Won't even matter. I'm getting my 9 wins. Now, don't fool around and lose to West Virginia on September the 1st. If you do lose to Tennessee, it's not the end of the world, but I am going to then make sure you're going to have to make it up somewhere else. So that's either the Louisville game or maybe that last Miami game, something like that. We may be sweating this one out, but I'm going to go over. Next on the ledger, sir.
What do you want, Miami, or you want to save that for a little bit?
Yeah, I am torn on this. I've wrestled with this. A lot of people are all kinds of over on Miami, and I can't remember what that number was. I think it was as high as 9.5, and I'm going under.
It is at 8.5.
Oh.
If you take the over, it's even money. It's even money.
And if I take the under, what do I get?
The under is -120.
Is that right?
That's still, again, for a full season, it's not that expensive.
No, but man, that is tough. That Miami, that's a good number. That's a good number because they play Texas A&M.
They do.
Give me that schedule.
Bethune-Cookman.
Win.
Southern Miss.
Win.
At A&M.
Loss.
Middle Tennessee State.
Win.
Break. Then they host North Carolina.
Win.
At Virginia Tech.
Win.
They host Duke.
Win. Jesus.
At Virginia.
This schedule's a joke so far, other than the A&M game. Win. Virginia sucks. They got a good quarterback, though.
They host us.
Win.
At Georgia Tech.
Win.
At Clemson.
Ooh, loss.
And Pitt comes to town for the final game of the year.
Yeah,
that sounds like an over.
That sounds like an over. I'm going to go over the number.
Boy.
Yeah.
Beating Florida State, huh?
We could pull the upset, and I could lose the wager, and I'd be fine with that.
There you go.
I'd be fine with that. All right, the only other one I want to do 2. I want to do, I got to guess a couple of here. I do think Virginia is going to be interesting. I have no idea what Vegas is going to do with them because of their coaching situation and the quarterback. They probably overvalue the quarterback. Is it at 7.5?
7.5.
Bam, look at your boy.
Nailed it.
I'm going under all day. Easy under, kids. Easy under.
Well, here's the thing. The under is moderately expensive. -140.
Yeah, because they know damn well that team's not winning.
+120 on the over.
Games.
Could that induce you a little bit?
Give me that schedule. No, Virginia sucks. No.
They open with the Richmond Spiders.
Tough game, but they'll win it.
At Illinois.
Win.
It's a strange game.
It's a weird game.
A lot of navy and orange.
Kind of a fun game to watch.
Old Dominion.
Win.
At Syracuse.
Win.
At Duke.
Win.
Boy, what
Virginia's got the easiest hit. What are we doing?
They then host Louisville.
Loss.
Bye week at Georgia Tech.
Win.
Miami.
Loss.
Hosting North Carolina.
Loss.
Hosting Pitt. My God.
Loss.
But what? Home. That's crazy.
Yeah, loss.
They host Coastal Carolina.
Win.
At Virginia Tech.
Oh, there it is for all the marbles.
All right.
And they're at Virginia Tech?
Mm-hmm.
Loss.
That is on a Saturday. They play that game on the Friday. That's our time.
Yeah, it's
their time.
It's our time. I'm going under. And then finally give me Virginia Tech and we'll leave it alone.
What is the number?
I'm going to say their number is 6.5.
That's on it.
Get off your boy. Good God.
Certainly at Epcot, I would.
Man.
Plus 120 on the over, minus 140 on the under.
I'm going over, baby. I'm going over on VodTech. Give me that VodTech schedule. Let's ride that over. Let's go. This is a segment on college sportsbook, Matthew. Just take this out. Random picks.
At Old Dominion.
Win.
Hosting Boston College.
Remember when Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion?
Yeah, they do. And Richmond.
That
They lose
was
those teams all the
crazy.
time.
They're forever choking, but they're going to beat Old
Lost to
Dominion.
William and Mary.
I like them to beat Old Dominion. Go.
They host Boston College. It'll be a night kick at Lane, 8 p.m. on the ACC network.
Oh, big matchup there. 2-0.
Wofford.
Win.
West Virginia. That's
Where?
a Thursday
Where?
night kick
Where?
in Blacksburg.
Okay, win.
So they get a pseudo bye to travel to.
So I have them 3-0. Is that right?
You have them 4-0.
4-0. Jesus.
Yeah.
Next.
Pseudo bye. They travel to North Carolina.
Loss.
At Pitt.
Loss.
Miami in Blacksburg.
Loss.
Bye week at NC State.
Loss.
Ooh. Georgia Tech.
Win.
At Duke.
Win.
At Liberty.
Win. We're over. That's 7.
Wow.
We get there. 7.
With one game to spare against the Who's.
Thank God they're playing all those bums. Old Dominion and Wofford.
I'm hearing a lot of ACC overs. Were they all overs? I think they were.
No, I went under Virginia. Sorry, didn't I?
You did?
I think I did. I think I went under Virginia. Yeah. But I did. Yeah. Okay, last one. I know. Here you go, guys. North Carolina. Let's go.
All right.
Get your bookies on the line. That number.
The goats.
It's exceedingly high. You can play the goats for this.
Not Brady goats. Billy goats.
Yeah. These are your fraudulent goats right here. So North Carolina strikes me as a top 40 team, but not a top 25 team. I would say that win total, they may even improve because that quarterback was a bum.
What? Sam Howell?
Yeah, he sucked.
Oh, man.
Wow. Let's see. I'm going to go with.
It's a take.
Yeah, I never thought he was very good.
He's an NFL bum. Yeah.
Well, he's a way late rounds NFL bum. None of this nonsense people were throwing out there. Oh, he's going to go the first round. What the hell are you looking at? He's a midget. He doesn't have much of an arm. He's not all that athletic. Sorry, little person. Okay, North Carolina. The number is 8.5.
7.5.
Oh, that's a good number, Tom.
You'll get plus money on the over, plus 115, and the expense is minus 135. Minus 135 on the under.
I'm struggling here. I think I'm leaning towards 8, but I don't trust their defense at all.
Well, perhaps the schedule might.
Let's go. I'm worried about this. I don't like it, Tom. I don't like it.
Hosting Florida A&M on Saturday, August 27th.
Unfortunately, they're going to win that game.
At Appy State.
Good game. They'll win that game.
At Georgia State.
By the way, Josh Downs is still there. Damn it. At Georgia State win.
Bye week, host Notre Dame.
Oh, good game.
Come on.
Good game.
Notre Dame. Gotta be.
Probably. Yeah. I'll take Notre Dame.
One team plays defense. Virginia Tech.
Where?
That is in Chapel Hill. What did you pick for Virginia Tech?
I think I had Carolina. I think I'll take Carolina there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Lee Sterling. I think you played both. At Miami.
That's a loss.
At Duke.
That's a win.
Another bye week because they started early and they host Pitt.
Great game. That's going to be the difference maker right there. That's the one.
Saturday, October 29th.
I don't know what I picked there. I've got problems here. I don't know. Tony Grimes going to seal the deal, right? Listen, Slovis is the quarterback. He's the kid that came over from
USC.
Southern Cal.
Yeah.
I don't like him from what I've seen of him. I don't think he's very good, but
they've got both lines of scrimmage coming back.
They do, and so I'll give him a win there.
All right. Who?
What was the game?
North Carolina. Pitt. You're going to give it to Pitt?
I'm going to give it to North Carolina.
What? Okay.
No.
All right. At Virginia.
Win.
All right. At Wake.
Ooh.
Truist Field.
What do we got going on here?
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, welcome into the big time ACC tilt. Wake
wins. Okay, so how many losses is that for North Carolina? Matthew, you
4 or 5.
4 losses.
4 maybe.
All right, so they've got 2 games to go. Georgia Tech.
Win.
All right. Finally, Friday, the same day we play, Black Friday, NC State.
That's a loss.
Yes, it is.
So, I mean, that's close, man. That's like 7 or 8. It's
Boy, that's also
a lot of juggling.
Thankfully, we agreed, rightly so, only to host Florida if you got a primetime kick, because the slated time for North Carolina State is either 12, 1 p.m., or 3:30. They don't even know yet, but it's not a night kick. So NC State's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
We got the World Cup to watch.
What are we doing?
We got the World Cup to watch, and you're having us play North Carolina.
Oh, man. That's going to be fun. That is a lot of fun. Hey, see, this is good. We're getting to that time of year where we can, we're almost in July. When we get to July, we got the ACC kickoff. Everything locks in. But right now, we just skirt around here on the periphery, coming up with some win totals.
30 days away. Need to hear that Radio Row email. That's what I'm looking for.
I haven't received it yet. Either of you, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's
handle
lock it in.
that.
I'll get my coffee, but I won't have to race this time because I know we're going to try to avoid 8 a.m. interviews. Like we had with our guy.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, what are we doing? There's no reason to be. I mean, unless I have
They're
to.
going to give you Slovis.
Unless I have to interview Norvell at 8 a.m.
You're going to get Slovis at 8 a.m.
I'm up early anyhow, but I just don't want to race down there first thing in the morning. I want to enjoy my coffee. I want to chill the hell out. I want to, check things out. No, you got so and so. That's the one downside of the ACC kickoff is that they always throw you a rando, and the rando's never good. It's never like, oh, hey, look, you've got. Well, I mean, I'll keep it on.
Careful.
I'll keep it above board, but I'll talk actual players instead of comparing them to women. But no, I was gonna say like, oh, look at that, your rando is Selma Hayek. Oh my God, what a gift! No, I'm saying that would be the greatest random of all time. But then it's never that. It's never that. It's like it's Roseanne. So every time that we do this, they go, hey, here's your random that you have to do because we're also giving you Dabo Sweeney. And you're like, oh, great, I got Dabo, but I have to interview the linebacker from Boston College. He's a bum. And so,
clearly not Kuechly.
No, it'd be somebody else. It'd be somebody else.
Duke's running back.
Let's race over there and say somebody else. North Carolina's, Duke's running back. Right, I got to go talk to this kid. And nobody cares.
Well, that's where you just don't air that one, You keep it just in case.
But I still have to be there to do it, and it's like at 8 a.m.
I'm sorry.
No, listen, if your next interview's at noon and they give you a rando Duke running back at 8 a.m., that's a kick in the boys.
It is.
It's just wrong is what it is. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV. 93 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
County leaders approved a new plan to educate, encourage, and enforce getting the homelessness problem in the county under control. The commissioners approved funding to support the Leon County Sheriff's Office Homeless Outreach Street Team, or HOST. The team will be staffed by 2 full-time deputies who will be tasked with connecting the homeless individuals and families in the county with available housing and social services, which include mental health counseling, substance abuse programs, veteran assistance programs, and more. The HOST team will launch on Monday of next week and will act as a boots-on-the-ground law enforcement presence. Former FSU and NFL football player Corey Simon announced Monday he's officially running against incumbent Lorianne Osley for her District 3 Senate seat. Simon filed paperwork Monday to run in the district encompassing most of the Big Bend. Florida Senate President Wilton Simpson and State Senator Ben Albritton both announced their support for Simon. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a chance for scattered storms. Highs around 97, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight, lows around 75. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, high of 98. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 93.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so talking about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
That's something you're looking at. You want to have a pleasurable mortgage experience. It can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be, especially if you get really good information and the process is not intimidating because you know how and why it's going the way that it is. And you get great rates, cutting edge technology, all those things. That is a 5-star mortgage experience from the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Chad and Shannon will hook you up. They'll do the right thing by you. They'll talk a little football, a Florida State football while you're at it. All you got to do is give them a call today, 844-FSU-LOAN. They have helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands at this point, Florida State fans get a home loan and get these great rates of which I speak. So 844-FSU-LOAN, also FSUHomeLoans.com if you want to look them up online. You ready to do some probables, my friend? We should cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Felt good to be at a baseball game, even one in which my boys lost, had the 4-2 lead late, and gave it up in a big way. But it was fun to be there. It was fun to just sit back and watch a little baseball. Braves got a really good team. It's one of the things when you're watching, you can just see the pressure that lineup puts on you. You're like, damn, man. There's a lot of pop there. They can swing it from both sides of the plate. There's speed. Figures they did win it all. Miami and Philadelphia are in the 6th inning of a 1-0 ball game. The Marlins lead it. Daniel Castano and Kyle Gibson. White Sox are up 9-0 on Detroit. That game is in the 5th. Vince Velasquez definitely outdoing Alex Fado. 6-1 Houston in the 1st inning. Wow. Luis Garcia starting for Houston, and whoever the bum is for Texas got lit up. Tyson Miller. Miller went into the game with an ERA of 18.
Ooh.
I don't think that improved.
No, sir.
Time to send him back down, boys. Reds D-backs starting shortly. Luis Castillo and Zach Gallen. We got the Royals and the Giants, Jonathan Heasley and Sam Long. Twins, Mariners, Sonny Gray and Marco Gonzalez. Braves, Nats, Spencer Strider, Eric Feedy. Rays, Yankees. Ooh. Shane McClanahan. Nestor Cortez goes for the Yanks. Orioles. Orioles, Blue Jays, Bruce Zimmerman, Jose Barrios. What a slate. A's, Red Sox, James Kaprielian and Josh Winkowski. What a fun name for a pitcher. Brewers, Mets, Corbin Burns, David Peterson. See my Pirates break up the no-hitter with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th last night?
Yes.
Suck it, Miles. Broke your heart in a 9-1 win. I know it did. We're starting one of our talented rookies. Good job, Pittsburgh, calling him back up. Rosie Contreras going to get the start.
Rosie?
Rosie.
Outstanding.
Yeah. He is starting. He's 1-1. He's been up, and then he went down. Now they're calling him back. Jack Flaherty, only Flaherty, starts tonight for the Cardinals. Cardinals are just drubbing Pittsburgh as the Pirates have been drubbed by all who've played them for about the better part of 2 weeks. We were outperforming our win total pace there that I bet on the over with right before this 10-game losing streak. Padres, Cubs, Ryan Weathers, and Caleb Killian. Guardians, Rockies, Connor Pilkington. Ugh, freaking Pilkington's here again. Austin Gomber goes for the Rockies. And finally, Angels, Dodgers, Reed Detmers, Tyler Anderson. By the way, if you didn't read the story, that was pretty funny. In the midst of a 12-game losing streak for the Angels, Joe Madden decided to get a mohawk to try to loosen the clubhouse. They fired him before any of the players could see it. Nice mohawk, Joe. Have a good day. You're fired. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Always like Joe, but he's had a good run. We're done?
About 25 seconds.
Hey!
But that means that there's only 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Go Bolts!
Until you get to tune into the Warchant Recruiting Chat right here tonight, 7 p.m. The Recruiting Chat with Michael Langston.
7 o'clock. Michael Langston's been kicking ass and taking names. There have been good things to report lately. He'll be doing it again tonight at 7 o'clock. Warchant TV. Don't miss it. Be well, everybody.